Hey, Stephen. What's going on, man? Everything good? Hey, Kate. How's it going? Hey, Warrior for Freedom. Wow. Yeah, a lot going on, right? Bank thing now. It's the big bankers going down big time. Chili, Richard, Cheryl, Tanya Honey, Catfish, Beaker Mac, Donald Woods, Obed, Vosmoxty. Long time, yeah. Tom, Inga, Tanya Honey, Banksters, right? Indeed. Spiritual being. I'm doing the Skywalker right now, man. I decided to break from the freight train for. I mixed it in with. I put a little bit of ginseng root in. I have some raw ginseng from Wisconsin. I hope it doesn't like totally kill my stomach. Cool stuff, though, man. Brian, I hope you're making your move soon. And God bless you on your new coffee house. That's going to be awesome. Have a wonderful day. Thanks, you, Judy. Yeah, we got a lot of work to do, man. I mean, I think I'm okay spiritually. Yeah, my go-to. Thank you, Andrew. Yeah, I mean, I was having a very hard time staying in my body this morning. I know that sounds strange, and then I realized I left one of the patches on my body. I left the SP6 on my kneecap. I'm like, oh, maybe that was it. I don't know. But the energy is very, very high. Yeah, it looks better today. I figured out a little bit about the lighting. It should look better than it does, but I had it before where I was doing it earlier in the morning and I was able to get more blue out of the background, but I understand what I have to do. It's just I'm not quite sure how to do it, but I'm working on it. It's cloudy here. Yeah, I think maybe that the cloudiness really. I mean, I look back and I said, you know what? It really is a little gray out there. I mean, but this morning it was really. I had it pictured, so it was really blue. But I'm learning little by little how to do this thing. So let's get into some information. One is that I'm going to try to mess with the lights while we're talking. One is that Elon, our friend EM, we'll just call him EM in the future if that's okay with you guys. I found one of the culprits. Okay. Is that better? Should be brighter. Okay. That EM, in the future to be called EM, is put out a tweet with the word friends, FRENS, which is from 17. That's the way 17 did some things. So, or that's Frogmeister. That's from Pepe. Anyway, a lot's going down. A lot. I believe we're doing a repeat of 2008 right now. But this time, the banks are not going to get bailed out. Or if they do get bailed out, everyone will see it. Like you saw how the banks, they all gave each other bonuses right before the bank went down. I mean, it's pretty clear to see that. While the rest of us, like can't afford a dozen eggs in the grocery store, they give themselves bonuses. So I don't think that's going to play out too well. I also want to mention that one of my old friends from, I don't know if I knew him from the beach club. I think it was from the beach club, Richard Stangl. We called him Richard before. Now he's called Ricky, I think. Or did we call him Ricky? Now he's called Richard. Ricky, I can't remember. Ricky, I think we used to call him Ricky Stangl. He's a good baseball player, man, in his time. good, nice guy, but seems like, well, oh yeah, I'm not allowed to mention people here. Anyway, he had a video. They had a video about him because he was the editor of Time magazine, and I believe they had some kind of video of him that was taken down this morning. But he's kind of on my radar just because he's somebody I know. I mean, most of the people I grew up with are hardcore on the other side. Like my brother, like I said, my brother's in DARPA, and most of the people I grew up with, in terms of my early are, you know, they're. I don't think they really know what they're doing. I don't think they understand the depths of this thought stream that they're involved with. But when they do come to their senses, I think they'll be pretty shocked. At any rate, so we're in for, this is really a colossal experience now, and like EM said, these are the old days. Like, these are the days that you're gonna like be telling your great grandchildren about on Passover. You're gonna say, yeah, I remember it was like, we were huddled together. It seemed horrific. We ran to the bank, but there was no money left. This kind of thing. I mean, I don't know. I don't think you and I, this community, is running so much to the bank, because we know that everything is backed up by the quantum financial system. About to enter an unexpected journey into the fifth dimension. Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I would. Yeah, let me see if I could pin that. See my powers of pinning. Yeah, I think that's very accurate. I would say 100% with that. I mean, we think this is like a political kind of thing, but this is much bigger than politics. This is intergalactic. Let's see if I move this way, I go that way, and cash is king. I'm not 100% behind that. I wouldn't say so. I wouldn't say so. Yeah, you know why? Starseed, you can talk big, but you know what? I lost 5 channels, man. I just lost a channel of 50,000 people because I opened my mouth. You want me to do that again? Really? If you're a friend of mine, why would you want that? We all know who we're talking about here. I don't know. I'm surprised to hear people talking like that, but I don't know who everyone is here, and we don't know, really don't know who we are. But yeah, I don't want to. Am I being controlled by the cabal? How many guys are out there with my message on YouTube right now? Think of that. So yeah. Anyway, blessings to all. Yeah, you got it, Starseed Man. I mean, I've been, I just lost 50. I had 50,000 subscribers. I was making a living. I had a way to pay my bills. I had a way to support this channel because I have, I'm helping. I'm trying to get this message out, and yeah, thank you. I'm sorry to get so uptight, but I just man, I'm doing the best I can, and yeah, I got taken down, and it's interesting. And this really leads into my main message, Starseed. So I'm not offended, because you're doing God's work, because at the end of the day, what I'm seeing now is that it's, and I'm not going to mention names, but it was basically, similar kinds of folks. The white hats, at the end of the day, are just as bad as the black hats. Now, I don't know about 17 itself, but I would say, that, I don't know if Gila's hearing me. I think Gila would agree with me, that she would definitely agree with me, because she's got some inside contacts, that they also have an agenda that is not correct, because at the end of the day, at the end of all this, it's not about Democrats, not about Republicans, not about black hats, not about white hats. It's about God. It's about God and intergalactic connections and the future of humanity. So the white hats are just as capable of over over planning, like they are planning, they've made a monstrously beautiful plan that is really going to overturn the deep state. But guys, be careful not to go too far with that, because at the end of the day, this is God's plan. God allowed you to do that. And there's a bigger picture here. So if you think you're going to just install your guys at the end of the day, I think you're going to wake up to a rude awakening. Okay. I'm not making threats. I'm just saying, man, that, you know, I'm not technically in a position to say like that I get prophecy. You know, I know there are a lot of people out there to say they're prophets. I'm certainly not one of those people. But I put the pieces together, and at the end of the day, between Torah and the news and 17, at the end of the day, man, at the end of the day, the temple will be rebuilt, and our people will be allowed to do what they have to do, and the land is theirs, is ours. So, you know, that just needs to be said, that, you know, and this is not my opinion. This is God's opinion. So read, you know, if you read the Old Testament, you'll see that God gave the land to his people, and that hasn't changed. As far as I know, you know, I know you guys think it has, but it hasn't. So anyway, I don't want to go there. That's just, I'm just telling the peeps out there, both on both sides, both black hats and white hats, need to know that at the end of the day, you know, Israel belongs to the Jewish people, period. And if you don't understand it, check out the Old Testament. Maybe you need a new translation. I've been recommending a Jewish translation. I don't have one here, but if you get a Jewish translation, you'll see it's very clear, you know, Jewish meaning Hebrew, not King James. You will see it's very clear that, you know, that God gave Israel to the Yidden. Okay, so anyway, enough of that said. So that's perhaps an interplanetary shift. Discussion. There's a spiritual. Yes, this is definitely spiritual. You sound like the son of Yisachar. I don't know who that is, but everyone should know. You know, that's the end game. Listen, I came to this. I had a vision of the base of Mikdash. I had a vision of the Holy Temple. That's what got me into this mess. You know, I would still be out there with my little Wiccan friend, having the time of our lives. Not really, but having wonderful intimacy together. But I was recruited into this thought stream, and I don't have any regrets. But son of Yisachar, is that from Nevi'im? I'm not sure. The son of Yisachar. Yeah, I understand the signs of the times. Okay, yeah, I understand that at the end of the day, I was sitting. Listen, I was sitting minding my own business. Not really minding my own business, but I was sitting in my cubicle at Vanderbilt University. I was getting paid as an educational research, but I was really getting paid to just get lost, because I was even in that, they didn't want me around. They were just like, just go sit at a coffee house somewhere, don't bother us, we'll still pay you. But then at some point, but anyway, I was sitting minding my own business, sort of, and I was on the internet. This was like in 1990. I'm thinking like maybe 95-ish. And the internet wasn't what it is today. I'm sitting there watching the internet. I know I've told this story 1,000 times, and there is an existing copy of a video I made about this on Rumble. They took it off a couple of times already on YouTube, but on Rumble, it's called My Vision of the Holy Temple. If you want to Google, if you look it up on Rumble. But I was sitting in my cubicle at Vanderbilt University, a beautiful sunny day. You know, I drove my little red pickup truck to work from north of Nashville, where I was living on 6 acres or 3 acres, a couple acres, with a very attractive young lady, and who was also my boss, I might mention. And I was on the internet looking for enlightenment. I wanted to find out, how do you become enlightened? And off screen, a little bit to the left of the screen, I had a vision of the Holy Temple, which I didn't even know what it was then. And the vision told me, until this thing is rebuilt, there will be no enlightenment. That this is part of it. The temple, the Holy Temple, has to be restored. And I said, okay, whatever that means, And then it said, you have to go to synagogue today. This is the vision I had. So I said, okay, fine, I'll go. So I after the vision was over, I saw these like people in white being thrown off the ramparts. I later realized of the first or second temple. I don't know which one it was. Probably the first temple, I'm guessing, because it wasn't that big, really, at least the part I was in. But so I called the rabbi. I said, Rabbi, I want to come to synagogue. And he said, no. He says, no, today's not such a good day. He says, come on Shabbos. We have a nice kiddush. Kiddush means we eat a little bit. We rest, we eat, we kibitz, we talk to each other. He says, today's not a good day to come to shul. I said, Rabbi, I can't explain it, but I have to come to shul today. He says, okay, if you have to come. So I came to synagogue. I know I've told this story before. I came to synagogue north of Nashville. Yeah. Had a nice little place, man. It was nice. So was she, but I knew it wasn't for me. It was, there were difficulties. But anyway, so I went to synagogue. I found my way to synagogue, my little red truck, and I stepped into the synagogue, and all the peeps are sitting on the floor in sandals with schleppy clothes. They look just like me. I was a hippie in those days. And I said, wow, man, these guys are really religious. This is my kind. This is where I want to be. It's like Hashem, God knows his customers. He knew that this is what would bring me into the fold to see. But it turned out it was Tisha B'Av. It was the day of mourning for the destruction both of the first and second temple. And that's the day that I had a vision of the Holy Temple. So I feel like I've been recruited into this situation. And I'm, the certain forces want us to forget about this and think that that all the Jews are, are not good people, and this is just fake news, and God's people will be restored one way or another to the Mount. And if you want to go against it, God bless you, man. Good luck. Enjoy yourself, because you will be completely annihilated, obliterated. God does not play around. Okay. So if you want to ignore the Jews and just say, it doesn't really belong to them. That's fine. Have at it, man. Good luck. I'm watching. I'll be watching every minute of that unfold. Okay. So anyway, so, yeah, so that's my little story for the day. And, yeah. So that's just, I just want that on record, that at the end of the day, man, the Beis HaMikdash, the Jewish temple, the holy Jewish temple, will be restored before anything before the complete enlightenment of the planet. And if you don't think so, like I said, have at it, man. Good luck. Good luck fighting the creator of the universe. Okay. He told us what the end of the story is. And if you don't accept it, okay, try to change it, man. I mean, good luck. Anyway, okay, so that's that's, yeah, make sure you got some silver in the knapsack. Jason Cash, yeah. A lot of sales at ASEA Ariel. Yeah. What do you sell? What do you sell at Hadass Ariel? I don't know. Anyway, okay, so let's check out. Let's go to the intel. I can tell you right now. I mean, just like the main story for the next couple of days is going to be the crash of the bank, and people might be thinking that it's going to end up like 2008, where, you know, the IMF comes out, they come out with, you know, pallets full of cash, and they bail out the banksters and everything. Everybody goes on their merry way, and the poor people suffer, and no biggie. It's not going down like that this time, man. And we had 2008 to watch. If it does go down like that, it will, you know, they will watch, you know, that will be a sting operation. I think we're past the days of sting operations. I think that they're just not going to get bailed out this time. And humanity will get bailed out by the quantum financial system. But in the meantime, you know, I'm not going to mention names, but you guys on both sides, man, think you understand what's going on. Go for it, man. I got more popcorn than you guys, and I'll watch till the end. Okay. The EBS will start right after the dollar crash. I don't think so. I don't think so. That's just my opinion, but I think that that we have to go through this experience, and that to call an ending to this right after it, I don't see that. I don't see it. I don't. But it could happen that way. It could happen that way. But I personally, I'm still, I mean, after you know, when I see the news and I'm shocked by the news, I think it's going to happen next week. It's going to happen by the 17th. You know, like all the intel channels are telling us, you know, it's you know, it's going to be 10 days and then this and that. I don't see it that way. I think it's got to play out in nature. This has got to be a story that plays out within nature. I know certain people that I really love with all my heart will be, you know, dismayed to hear me say this again, but I really believe it's got to go on till remember the 5th of November. I really believe that it has to look like it's happening, like the Purim miracle. There were no big miracles. It was just like within nature, you know. This one talked to that one. The queen was didn't want to take off her clothes, and suddenly they needed a new queen. And Gila says that Esther had a clone to sleep with the guy, you know. And I you know, this I can't really, but I'm sure that I wouldn't be surprised. I don't think cloning is like a new thing, man. I mean, if they're telling us that cathedral stands for cathode, you know, that they used to use these cathedrals with the two towers as electrical supply sources, you know. And I also saw today online that the people in the past, let's turn this on. The people in the past were breathians, meaning they didn't eat food. They didn't go to the bathroom. There are no bathrooms in these old buildings. Why are there no bathrooms? Because they didn't go to the bathroom. They survived on air. They didn't eat food like we do. They weren't as grub as us, or certainly as me. But yeah, so, you know, I mean, we're in for like a big eye-opening, awakening experience of momentous proportions. And, you know, I hope I'm wrong. I hope the EBS does happen next week, but I don't. I think this really, in order to wake up all of humanity, I think, and for it to be a godly thing, let me just move this. I really believe that this has to unfold within the bounds of nature. Just my opinion. Prana, yeah. People, they survive just on air. And there are ways to do that. I personally, I like to eat. I mean, I have to eat. I'm a pretty big eater. Per Sharia, it could be Nasara's close. You know, remember, after they announced Nasara, they need 120 days. So, yeah, it could be close. It could be close. I'm not saying it's not close, but I'm just saying this has to unfold within the, I believe, just my personal opinion from observing, like they were saying that I, like the son of Yisachar, I'm just looking at the events. I'm not a prophet. I don't claim to be a prophet. I don't have visions. I did have that one vision, but that was a long time ago. I don't, I just go by, I look at the pieces and I try to put the pieces of the puzzle together just like everyone else, just like Kay Happenings, just like all peeps. We all were just trying to rearrange the puzzle. The only difference with me versus a lot of the rest of the patriots is that I have I have a 20-year education in Old Testament. So I'm fully aware of the old book that they may not be as Bucky on. They may not be as have had as much experience with. And the thing with the old book that people should understand, like when I wanted to study Kabbalah, I started studying Kabbalah. I had tarot cards. I was into spirituality. I was into meditation. I had a guru. I ate a bunch of mushrooms, and I realized at some point pretty quickly about Kabbalah that you couldn't really understand much of it if you didn't live the life. In other words, you had to live in the Jewish community. You had to know Hebrew. You had to, now in retrospect, you had to go through the holidays. Like you cannot understand what Passover is until you spent a Passover in Crown Heights or in a Jewish setting. It's not it's not something that you can, I feel as somebody who studies Kabbalah, in order to, because for example, and I know you guys want intel. How many peeps we have? 14. Yeah, I'm not getting flooding. You don't need the mushrooms. You do not need mushrooms. Absolutely not. Nobody needs that. It was just something that got me through certain things, but yeah, so at the end of the day, I forgot. I lost the train. Yeah, you don't need mushrooms, but at the end of the day, what I found, okay, now I remember what I was talking about. What I found was it's very nice to have tarot cards. It's very nice to know the names of the Hebrew letters. It's very nice to know the gematria. But, like Madonna, I don't want to say anything against Madonna, but to learn Kabbalah, my point of view, I don't regret any of those 20 years. I mean, they were not easy years for me. I had to do without a lot of things that I really enjoy, and I'm still, pursuing that. But like, for example, people should know what is Passover about. Oh, we eat matzah. We talk about the story. It's also about, from a Hasidic point of view, it's about making yourself flat like a matzah. It's about defeating your ego. It's about becoming one with godliness. And, this whole thing about I shouldn't say defeating ego, but it has many levels to it. And depending where you are on the redemption train, on the ascension train, it means different things at different points. What that means, defeating your ego. It doesn't really mean defeating it. I mean, at the end of the day, the Alter Rebbe says it means, I'm sorry about the smoke. I'm trying to get this modified somewhat. So it's down. Okay. At the end of the day, it really means taking your Yetzer Hara, taking your evil inclination, embracing it. This is your reptilian, I've said this a million times, but this is your reptilian self. Remember, our DNA was tampered with in the Garden of Eden. That's what the Bible is all about. That's what the Old Testament is about. At the end of the day, we have to embrace the little reptile inside of us and tell him, yo, man, I totally I understand, man. You need this, you need that. You got to have that. You got to have 2 of those. You got to have 3 of those. But at the end of the day, I don't want to kill you. At the end of the day, I want to embrace you. I want to say, you know what, man, you little crocodile, you. What about if we started doing like good things with that energy? What about, okay, we could do maybe just a few little things. And that's where we're heading as humanity. We are transforming evil into good. And that's going to be, once that process is completed. Now, I think a lot of people have to be on this train. And that's why I'm thinking that it could take until at least the 5th of November just is that everyone's got to get on this train, man. Coffee house, yeah, with a smoking area. Interesting. Is it legal to smoke in Arizona? I mean, a rather large smoking area. Okay. It'll be a great coffee house. I don't know where John Cash, yeah, John Cash just sort of disappeared. Okay. I wonder. Anyway, so, right. Yeah. Yeah. We're not allowed to yeah, they ask you to light switches. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, yeah, they're a beautiful community. They're not overly, they're not going to come up and hug you. And certainly men do not look at women, and women do not look at men. And if you're a woman and you feel ignored in Williamsburg, that's just the way it is, man. I mean, I worked in Williamsburg for a couple of years, and they didn't even say hello to me. They don't even consider me Jewish because I'm a Chabadnik. I mean, there's not a rift. There used to be a rift between people. There's no rift anymore. Now everybody gets along. Hey, Michelle Prada. Yeah, a lot of yuppies live, not yuppies, but a lot of nice young people live in or near Williamsburg. But I just want to say that as a frum Jewish person, I'm a religious person. I'm a Hasidic Jewish person, and I used to be more religious than I am now. So in some respects, I didn't have people coming up to me on the streets, Satmar Hasidim coming up and throwing their arms around me and say, "Wow, you teach in the public school? That's so cool." I mean, they did. I mean, there were people who did embrace me, but there were also a lot of people gave me some very dirty looks. Yeah. So anyway, no one's perfect. No one's perfect. Jewish people aren't perfect. Non-Jewish people aren't perfect. No one's perfect. We're all working on ourselves, and we're all at various levels in this ascension process, but we are ascending. And I believe the whole thing culminates with the rebuilding and reinstituting of the Holy Temple for all people, but run by the Kohanim and the Leviim, because they know how to do it. It's a house for all people. The windows on the base of Mikdash in the Holy Temple are small on the inside and big on the outside, meaning that the light that will be produced in the Holy Temple will shine forth through all the worlds, okay? Just my opinion. All right, so let's get some intel. As long as you have ID, you can smoke. Gila's here. Hey, Gila. Gila, it's you and me, kid, on this one, man. I mean, with the, I don't know if you heard my whole spiel, but I've been spieling. You should, if you didn't hear it from the beginning, I've been kind of like talking about this subject from the get-go, about at the end of the day, the right thing has to happen. And nobody has a monopoly on truth, not the black hats, not the white hats, but God does. Source knows, man. Source knows where this is heading. And yeah, I think you would have to watch it from the beginning, Gila, because I wove in and out a lot of these things. I mean, just put it on like 2 times X, because you've heard everything I said. You've already heard. You already know all this stuff. You don't really need to learn again. But I'm just saying that, like, I was recruited into this situation. I was sitting at Vanderbilt University in my cubicle, looking for enlightenment, and I had a vision. And the vision said, "Go to shul, man." And the vision said, "Until the Holy Temple is restored, there will be no real enlightenment on the planet." That was my vision, and that's what I'm here to actualize to some small degree. I'm part of that. That's why, I was recruited to do a job, and until the job is done, I got to do it. I took the job. I volunteered for the job. I already said, I said to God, man, okay, I'll do it, and I'm doing it. So Yeah, that's it, Gila. And I was lucky enough through all this, I was lucky enough to be rewarded with a friend who understood what I'm talking about, and that's you, Gila, because I don't know anybody else who really understands completely what's going on, um, but you. And I think a lot of people on this channel do. I think most of us on the channel do, but you you understand. And I was saying that I am not a prophet. I don't claim anything on prophet. And one of our friends said that I'm like the son of Yisachar, which means that I'm able to piece together the things of the times. Maybe that's true. Maybe I'm an incarnation of one of those peeps. They brought us in, Gila, for something. Okay. Anyway, yeah, we all are critically important to this puzzle. I'm not saying that like I'm a big dude here. Don't get me wrong. Master chess player teaches young kids chess. That's nice. Nice, Norman. That everybody has a place, and no one is more important than the other. Everyone has a song to sing, and we all need each other to bring this thing, to bring the ball over the line. Yeah, Gila's amazing. So, but anyway, we continue, and there are parts of it, Gila, that I'm glad you didn't hear, because I you know how I feel about the dates and the EBS and stuff. So yeah, maybe it's better if you didn't hear it. All right, so let's get to some intel. I could do it. Yeah, I know on one of the tapes. Yeah, I know. There was a problem. Yeah, Gila, I talked to my editor. There was a problem with the J Man getting into one of my tapes, and you know what? I'm just going to have to let it go. I mean, it's out there, but if people want to, I just, what can I do? I can't control everything. I have thousands of tapes online, and that one got messed up. The guy who did it knows what he did, and he won't do it again, I'm sure. Intel. Okay, so let me get to Intel. I'm just going to put you guys up for a minute. I'm going to switch over to Intel. Okay. Yeah, that's a bad one. That's a bad one, Gila. That's for me. It could be there are people who post things against me too. I mean, I don't know if it really came from me. I don't know. I just, people have to use their minds about it. Everybody knows where I stand on that issue. I don't even want to go into it. But I can't. I'm unfortunately unable to control every piece. The Alter Rebbe. The Alter Rebbe. Let me see if I can make this bigger. The Alter Rebbe had to. Oh no, but then I can't see your posts. The Alter Rebbe had to publish his own Tanya, and he forbid any other versions to be coming out because so many people changed his version of the Tanya that he had to put out another one. And it's yeah. Anyway, I hope that's not on my tape, but if it is, whatever. I can't do everything. I think things are going to get I have a feeling things are going to get much more. I think this channel is going to grow a lot. It may not grow in this form. It may grow on Rumble. It may grow on Patreon. We're planning some moves there, but ignore the. Thank you, Nick. Yeah, I just can't. I can't. The banks are going down, and they're not going to get bailed out. Yeah, You know what, Norman, I would like to learn Tanya daily. There are rabbis who do it so much better than me. My skill is really putting the pieces together. That's really, like they were saying, Yissachar's son. My skill is putting Torah with the events of the day, and there are guys who really, really knock it out of the ballpark with Tanya. Like one I would say is Rabbi Gordon, Alva Shalom, may his soul be blessed and in peace. But he does a great job with Tanya, and a lot of other things on Chabad.org. Amazing. Yeah, I really, you know what? I just shared with you the essence of Tanya, which is that, you have to take that reptile within you. This is the essence, I believe, of Tanya. Like if somebody said to me, express everything about Tanya in 2 sentences, I would say the reptiles got into our DNA, and we have to embrace that energy and use it to do godly things. The rest is commentary. That's what I would say. Okay. you know, yeah, it'll go. Yeah, because we have love vibrations. Exactly right. So anyway, yeah. So I don't want to get distracted too much here. Let's go to. I'm going to go to the White Hat channel because they are to me I like them. Even though we read it last night, let me just see if there's anything really new. Excuse me. Okay, so there's nothing for March since March 11th, and today's the 12th. The storm, Mr. T is holding very important cards. Durham isn't done. Inside the de-evolution plan, thank you, Ezra. Okay, so within Cheyenne Mountain, so everything is really happening. I love you, Michael, but I mean, this level of info is it's just trivial to me. I mean, it's just like, and I love you. I love your research, but at the end of the day, man, the big picture is, and it's important. I'm not saying it's not important. It is very important, but we want to look at, hey, Richard. Yeah, we want to look at the big picture, man. I mean, because what happens in Arizona on a granular level, I mean, it's just not what this channel is about either. It's not about Tanya, and it's not about, who did what when. It's and Sherry Ray outlines. We're notified how to get the money. Right. I know Sherry Ray has been saying that for years. So I'm like, really, is that what you want me to do, is sit here and talk about like the RV is coming for sure next Tuesday? I mean, I've been hearing this for like 3 years already, man. I mean, when are people going to like gain a little bit of discernment and say, you know what? The RV will come when the RV comes, but it's not really what it's about anyway. Growing and expanding. Yeah. So I have to stick to what I do best, which is just interpret, not the granular news. I could care less. And I don't even follow anything like, the selection process or this particular court case or you won't see me spending time with that. Couldn't at your desk, you're fired. Right. Yeah. So anyway, but I will say that I think besides Gillen and I don't know that many people who are putting this together with Torah, and I think that's what we do best. And what I'm saying in terms of Torah, in terms of the calendar, is that we are coming into Passover, man, and that's liberation. Now, is it going to happen on Passover? I personally do not think so. I think there's going to be a lot of big deals going down in the next couple of weeks. It's only a few weeks till Passover. I have my calendar here. I think it's April 5th. It's now we're at the 12th of March. We're halfway through March, and Passover starts on the 5th of April, which is the 14th of Nisan on our calendar. The 5th, that's just like a couple weeks away. Now, do I think everything is going to happen by Passover? I do not. Personally, I do not. I think there's a lot more work that needs to be done. Yeah, I'm with you, Stephen. I mean, yeah, the the RV is like, it's, it's totally cool, man, when it happens, but I'm not going to spend time thinking about it. I just, it's a nice gift. It's like XRP, man. People told me 3 years ago already. It's probably almost 4 years ago. People said to me, just get some XRP. It's going to the moon. I'm like, okay, so I bought, I bought, and I bought, and I bought, and I bought, and I bought it. I ended up being like almost on the whale side of XRP. And then one day somebody sent me an email, and I did a post on Telegram, and I didn't know it was not the person who said, and I lost it all. So it's like, I don't wait, and I consider that a gift. I was happy to be relieved of my XRP. You know why? Because I had to say, you know what, it's not the end all. It's not the thing that's going to save me. It's not XRP. What's going to save us is belief in God. At the end of the day, I mean, we're going to have lots of money. It's not going to matter. So why am I going to spend, I'm not going to spend anyway. It's not us it's all of us versus evil. I like that. That's good. The waters are receding. Yeah. Bring up Atlantis. I think we all know. I mean, there are pictures. There's all kinds of stuff about Atlantis online. Anyway, let me see if I can get to another. Let's see if I can get to another channel. Let me try this channel. This is a little bit more granular. This is kind of interesting. New, the death of a climate bank. With the implosion of the Silicon Valley Bank, over 1,500 climate and energy tech companies could face problems. In addition, more than 60% of community solar financing in the U.S. is involved in the bank. So they're toast, man. We're coming into an era of hydrogen energy, free hydrogen energy. I mean, so physical assets, but at the end of the day, man, your main asset is you. It's you and your ascension and your ability to resonate with the right frequency. That's what's really going to do it. And that's what's going to save the world, man. Disclosure is going to spin heads. I would agree with that. But we're heading for very beautiful times ahead. Anyway, so the Alaska volcano eruption likely increased, alert level raised. Now, why are there increased earthquakes in Alaska? Because because of the wilderness. There's a lot of traffic that goes through there. There's a lot of baddies deep in the woods. Okay, so they got to be taken down. Elon Musk calls for the release of Jacob Chansley, the 17 Anon. I mean, apparently he's like a totally peaceful deal, but that doesn't go with their narrative. But anyway, teacher of the year arrested at school. Okay, that's interesting. I mean, you can see where all this is going. Mexican cartel sends letter, apologizes for kidnapping and doing bad things to people. This is a GOP congressman says he believes the FBI illegally spied on him. You think? Yeah, I think so. Yeah, that could be. I shouldn't say it that way, but let's hope to get through the little sensors. Remember, just a slight commercial message. If God forbid, anything happens here, on YouTube, I will always be posting. I will be conducting these live meetings on Rumble at the same time. And also, we plan to grow our Patreon channel, and we're gonna try to do Zoom meetings on there. I'm not really supposed to announce it yet, but we're gonna do Zoom meetings so you can also speak, not just me. And I think that'll be really fun. It'll be fun for me anyway. I'd love to see you guys. So that's going to be on Patreon, our Patreon channel, and we're reorganizing. I'm working with my buddy, my spiritual friend in Nepal, and we work together. We're like one mind, but he has a slightly different take on it. He's also, he's more than half my age. I mean, I need to go fishing in a beautiful place. Yeah, man. The first thing that I ever got published was called Backyard Bass. It was about that you can always find the most beautiful place right in your own backyard. Yeah. To grow a garden, all this stuff is good, man. Yeah. So just know that I'm always going to be broadcasting. I'm not going to stop. Um, and if you see something with the J Man, you know what I'm talking about, the Yeshua with them on one of my things, that does not come from me, because we and I do not believe in that stuff. So, and if you don't know what I'm talking about, the best place to hear it is from Tuvia Singer. He's on YouTube. Somehow he stays on YouTube, I think, but he explains why Jews don't believe in that. Hey, Mio. I'm sorry I had to rearrange the show more, Mio, but we'll pin your website. I don't know how many peeps Mio has on her website, but if you want to put in your website here, I'll pin it and people could subscribe. I think that's what we're going to do. We're just going to like highlight certain companies, as they come around, and that will be because my partner wants me to keep this show more really like lean and mean, so we can get some stuff done, because we have to really grow exponentially to let the word get out there that it's all good, man. We're in God's hands. Everything is good. This is godly. This is not the end of the world. This is the beginning of the world. And people need to know that. Okay, how many people do we have here, by the way? 780. Oh, 708. Okay. So Carrie Lake has a message for DeSantis. I'm not interested. Lawyer reveals why Trump didn't release. This is interesting. This is very interesting. Why didn't Mr. T release all the files about the president from 1963? Because it's mind-boggling. It's absolutely mind-boggling, and most people probably couldn't. I don't know. I mean, I've seen some of the releases. It's just, you can find out if you look on the web. You can find out what really went down. Yeah, the GOP is just building the case against Dr. F. All right, I'm gonna bail out of this channel for now. Let's see if I can get to another channel. Yeah, I can. Okay. And this is a very reliable channel. Okay, California levee fails, leading to floods and water rescue overnight. Watch the water. Okay, so there's a lot going on in California, everywhere. The normies start seeing through the matrix. For your sake, I will simply say she's trying to say and do the math for you. Let's say 25% of $1 is 25%, which leaves 75%. 12% of 75 cents is basically 10 cents, which leaves 65 cents. That I don't know what the point of this is, but the dollar vigilante. She's telling us how I'm guessing, I'm going to put this on the Intel channels, which I believe are still in the show more, but I'm not sure. But it's Kabbalah, it's KGF Intel post only, and also kabbalahguru. If you go to Telegram, go to Kabbalah, KABBALAH Guru. It has 10,938 subscribers. So that's the one where you can, I just pinned that message. Let's see if we can go back. But I'm sure some of these young people, man, they totally get it. Okay, this is interesting. Breaking news. The Federal Deposit Insurance Corp and the Federal Reserve are discussing creating a fund to backstop deposits if more banks fails. There it is. They don't mean if, they mean when. Prepare. Okay, I think what we're saying here is that the bad guys are going to do what they always do. Whether they'll be allowed to do that, I don't know. I'm hearing a machine. I hope it's not in my house. I'm hearing like Cassandra. Anyway, yeah, so there's going to be anyway, no place is perfect, right? This is a lot better than hearing dishes. If I tried to tell you, you wouldn't listen. We tried to show you, you refused to see. We sent you videos, you refused to watch. We sent you articles, you refused to read. You deleted us, unfriended us, belittled us. But we stand here still fighting for you to awaken. That's very interesting. BRICS countries overtake the G7 in share of the world GDP. I mean, it's all about the money, man. Follow the money. That's what Gila always says, and she's right. China has conducted a number of hydrosonic missile tests. Okay, I don't want to go into that. Disappearance of Julian A. Let the light that helps others see. Bank run. Customers line up outside the bank. Protesters outside the, let me just see what this is. I'm not sure who those people are. It says Sputnik. Let me just see. I don't know. I don't know what country that is. I don't know. But they're not happy. Moldovan parliament and residential administration building in Chiazé chant down with their leader. They're not happy. Israeli fighter jets escort U.S. bomber over Israeli airport in message to Iran. I think that is, if you're Jewish and you still think it's about Iran and Israel, I think you're missing the point. I really do. It's the Iranians are dealing with the same deep state that Israel is has dealt with, and they have done horrific things to the Jewish people, even recently. So it's not about Iran. It's about the evil within. It's about transforming the evil within. There is an evil within us, and if it is not transformed, it's not good. But it is not the people. It is not the Jews. It is the same baddies that we fought with in Egypt. So if you white hats are out there, licking your lips over, someday you're going to buy some real estate in Jerusalem, let's hope you can. But I don't think it's a good idea to try to take Israel away from the Jews. Now, did they get it in a way that made sense? No, this is all above nature. You can even get bad guys to do God's will. The Balfour Declaration, whoever it came from, were the bad guys. It came from the bad guys, but they did God's will. So, it's still God's will, man. And at the end of the day, the temple will be rebuilt. Bottom line, I believe. Anyway, here's why the other side might save Silicon Valley as customers attempted to withdraw some $42 billion from the crashing SVB. which is designed to provide startup loans at low rates and therefore leaves itself vulnerable to increasing interest rates. It seems Great Britain is the first to step forward in instructing its industry to help prop up the Silicon Valley Bank. Rumors are spiraling that Prince Harry and Meghan had a large large nest egg with SVB and stand to lose millions, potentially over $1 billion, and Harry now waiting to sue. It is said that some 180 British tech firms are facing a similar fate, with just the insurance won't cover it. Okay, so whatever. I mean, this is going to be the big story for a while. I mean, and again, it's going to be about the banks and taking care of the banks. It's not going to be about the people. The people are irrelevant to these elites. They don't care. They don't know. Like my friend Rick Stangl, I don't know. Maybe he just doesn't know any better. I have to think that. I think he was a nice guy. I mean, I think people have been. There's been a lot of brainwashing going on, and whatever. People don't understand the whole big picture. You really need to know Torah to understand the whole big picture. So, anyway. They're going to create a fund. Yeah. I'm really getting into dangerous waters here. I just realized I shouldn't have mentioned my friend's name, but my channel will go on, please God, with God's help. The Great Awakening, a week to remember. Okay, the shot heard around the world. Let me just see what this is. It said, would you believe a device was placed somewhere in the White House that would actually cause harm to anyone in the room and would in essence go undetected? Yeah, I would believe it. Would you believe it? Yeah, absolutely. Acoustic heterodyne weapon for God and country. Where we go one, we go all. Yes, indeed. As the world turns, yeah, there's a lot of disturbing things out there about little kids. 500,000 Israelis join latest protests against the judicial overhaul, says CNN. That's because the rank and file Jews do not know what's going on. If they knew what's going on, they would be on the right side of things. Believe me. 500,000 Jews took to the streets. Now, I do not even know what's the right side of things is in this case. First of all, is it really Bibi? I doubt it. I think this is another white hat operation. So I think he's probably, because Bibi didn't always do the right thing. This guy, whoever is playing Bibi, it sounds like he is doing the right thing. So critics accuse Bibi of pushing the legislation in order to get out of the corruption trials, but he's already been tried and convicted. He already has I'm sure that Bibi already arrived in Gitmo or the equivalent of Gitmo somewhere in the world. Either he's turned good or he's going to Gitmo. I'm sure they gave him a choice he couldn't refuse. Is it really Bibi? I really doubt it. I really doubt you're seeing Bibi, but I think the person who's playing Bibi is trying to help the Israeli government become on the side of light. Correct about being self-employed. I think it's a better way to go, man. I mean, that's why I'm pushing these products. I want you guys to make money like without having to punch a clock. No, we're not going back. No, we're going to hydrogen power. I don't think we're going back to horse and buggy days. I think we're going into hydrogen power, which is, we should have had 100 years ago. Another 2 hours ago of fasting, like during Noah, folks. Yeah. Half a dollar spent before you even get it. Yeah, that sounds good, Gary. I think that's probably what it is. Thank you for doing that for me. That's what I was saying. We're a family, man. We're all God's people. Yeah, but that is not the point. That is not the point. No, this is just. It has nothing to do with it, anyway. I don't get me into that. You guys know how I feel about these things. I don't want to lose my channel over like silliness. Tomorrow is Commonwealth Day. Okay, so tomorrow's a big day. Yes, there is significance. There's tremendous significance. It's 11 point. Let's see, today is the 12th. 11.3. Yeah, it's a tremendous significance tomorrow. There's going to be huge stuff going down tomorrow. There's no question about it. There's going to be stuff going down all the way, all the way from now until it's done. I mean, we are in the storm now. So, and nothing can stop what's coming. And where we go one, we go all. So we will go together. We're coming into the Great Awakening. And nothing can stop this. So, yeah. So this thing with the Jewish people, I don't know, and at the end of the day, there is, read my lips. There is zero Z. I don't want to use that sign because that's a bad sign. There is zero conflict between any people of the earth. There is no conflict between Jews and non-Jews. If there is, it's somebody doesn't understand the big picture. There is no conflict between any type of humanity. Now, if you're going to come to me and say, if I don't believe in this thing, then I'm that's a conflict that you have to resolve because I'm clear. I know what I'm about. I know what I believe in. And it's not a bit, if you want to force me to believe something, then you got an issue and you got to deal with. Okay. But at the end of the day, there is no conflict between people. And if everyone just does a tikkun olam, just worries about themselves, like, am I holding in a godly way? Am I doing the right thing all the time? Am I letting people be, am I leaving them alone to be themselves, to grow in their own way? Am I letting them ascend? Am I getting in the way of their ascension process by insisting that they must do it the way I do it? Then I got to really look at myself. I say, mate, Ellie, maybe you were off there, man. I mean, and I make mistakes, a lot of mistakes, big mistakes. And, but at the end of the day, man, where we go one, we go all. So if you say, we're all godly. Of course we're all godly. It's not a question. And it's not about Jews versus non-Jews or this kind of Jew versus that kind of Jew or this kind of person. That's what the Kabbalah wants for you. That's not Kabbalah. I shouldn't say Kabbalah. That's what the 13 bloodline families and all their employees, which are all over the planet, want for you. They want us to fight each other. They want us to create wars. They are very happy when we are eliminating each other. We're not doing it this time. That time period is done. Okay? We don't have any problems here. We don't have any issues. It's live and let live. That's the bottom line to all this. It's not Jews and non-Jews. It's not this and that. It's the black, white. That's just fake news. We're all part of godliness. We are literally part of God. We are representatives of godliness in this realm. And when we're doing our job, there's no problem, man. And it's simple. You don't have to climb a mountain. You don't have to hold your breath for 3 hours. You don't have to meditate in an ice pack. You don't have to, whatever. You just have to be. You just have to really, at the end of the day, get past your intellect, which tells you be frightened of this or be scared of that or be critical of this or criticize you didn't do right. I mean, I do it to myself all the time. What did you just do? What did you see? Stop criticizing yourself, stop criticizing others. And even to say stop criticizing is a criticism. So it has to really come from inside. It's all basically connection to source. And source doesn't see any difference. Source doesn't know the difference between, I don't know, man. It's all one thing, man. I mean, human beings are beautiful creations, but they're more than creations. Like everything else in this world and outside the world, above, below, different vibrations, it's all godly. It's all connected to source. At the end of the day, you don't have to go and on a 15-day pilgrimage. All you have to do is say, hey, man, hey, God, it's me. Remember me? And he's like, yeah, you are me. We're one and the same, man. We're together on this, What do you got, man? What do you want to ask? It's like, yeah, anyway. So how am I doing time-wise? I went on a big rant. I just lost it, man. What happened? Wait a minute. I didn't want to do that. What's going on? Something happened here. Escape to press this. Okay, here we go. So everyone will not be blessed. Yeah, Christina, I mean, what can I tell you? I just said what I would have to say. Whatever you're going to believe that. That's your business. I don't have a problem with you believing that. Just let me believe what I believe, and you believe what you believe, and everyone will just get along just fine. Jewish people don't believe that, and we will never believe it. We will never be convinced. Listen, they've threatened us for years. They said, we will kill you if you don't believe this. And we said, okay, we'll die. That's how Jewish people feel. Because we don't believe in that you end when you die. You're eternal. You want to take away my bodily thing? I mean, so I can, Megan is a dude. I don't know. But anyway. Trumpets, yeah. These are the trumpets, Richard, man. You are the trumpeter. You don't need to know Torah. You don't need to know anything. All you need to know is that you are godly. That's it, man. That's the end of the story. Me-o. Yeah, man. So anyway, I've been that got opened a weird space, but things are intensifying right now, and people need to understand what, kind of like the big picture. The big picture is we're in an artificial matrix of being further tested and tried like several times. And yep. Yep. All this and more. One. That's interesting. Yeah, Kevin, I like that. I mean, we really don't know what's going on. So to try to interpret every little detail is just like focus, ascension. Focus, do not compromise your DNA. Focus on ascension. That's all we need to know. That's all we need to know. I don't know what do you want me to say, Christina? I mean, I laid it out for you, babe. Megan a man, I don't know. What difference does it make? It's about the information, it's about the message, not the messenger. Are we going to focus on those kind of details? I don't know. I think we need to focus on personal ascension. And yeah. I don't know, Gary, man. I don't know. I don't even want to get into it. I personally like her. I like her message. I think she's doing great things. Far too many have been waiting for Godot. Right. You don't have to wait, man. It's right in front of you. All you have to do is open your eyes. That's basically, that's what the Rebbe said. He said, Mashiach, you want Mashiach? All you have to do is open your eyes. He's here. He's right in front of you. I would say, I would add to that, just go to the bathroom, close the door, look in the mirror. Mashiach is right there, man. All you got to do is save yourself. Everybody saves themselves. We got a beautiful world, right? I don't know, man. I mean, you guys, all these details, what sex people are. I don't know. I just focus, ascension, man. Just focus on yourself, man. Yeah, I think so, Timothy. I agree. I'm sure. Yeah, that is not the same guy, and either is Chuck Schumann or whatever his name is. I mean, yeah. Don't worry, Christina. You're good. You're good. You're God. You're godly. 20,000 are going to save. Yeah, they saved the Russian, the soldiers saved 35,000 little ones. Anyway, all good, guys. All good. Just don't stop thinking about tomorrow. It will soon be here. The Matrix movie was a documentary. Absolutely. I'll go for that. And, I saw the woman who wrote the book. She was very interesting, man. She wrote The Terminator. She said Terminator is Matrix in the past. And Matrix, it's the same story. It's man against machine. And that's what Ishmael Peres says. That's a lot of things come to that. It's good versus evil. Anyway, you guys are beautiful. So, where are the mods? I'm not sure what you mean. The moderators, right? Yeah, I don't know if they can really affect. That's a problem with Restream. I keep asking them for a solution, but I don't know. Horsepower, nice. Yeah, pretty soon we're gonna have hydrogen power, man, and it's gonna be amazing. No more pollution, free energy. Okay, here's a new post. Let me just read this last post and then. Okay, here we go. This will make it's going to be called. It's called Manic Monday. Those of you who stayed till the end, man, I'm giving you a little reward. 777, very nice number. 6 o'clock already. I was just in the middle of a dream. I was kissing Valentino. Be a crystal blue Italian stream. By a crystal blue Italian stream, but I can't be late. Because then I guess I won't get paid. These are the days when you wish your bed was already made. Excuse me. It's just another manic Monday. Whoa, whoa. I wish it was Sunday. Whoa, whoa. Oh, this is right. Because my fun day, I don't have a run day. It's just another manic Monday. The Bangles, Manic Monday. Okay, that song was not so nice because it reflected something. March 13th. Okay, so let's read this. The leaders of the United States, Britain, and Australia meet Monday in San Diego with an expected announcement on nuclear submarine, a landmark step in military cooperation as concern grows over a fast-rising China. Ahead of his travel to San Diego, Sunak, that's when they were protesting, I think. Anyway, they're scary Biden and submarine in the same sentence. Yeah, okay. So there's going to be some action. It's going to be an interesting Monday. March 13th, Monday, Manic Monday per Vincent Kennedy. Donald Duck Day, the Phoenix Lights, sometimes called the lights over Phoenix, were a series of widely sighted unidentified flying objects observed in the skies over the southwestern states of Arizona and Nevada in 1997. Things are coming up so fast. Okay, the shadow government, de-evolution. Things are pouring out. De-evolution plan update. What's the update? I don't know. Phase 1, phase 2, activation. Phase 3, continuity operations. Phase 4 is reconciliation. All right, there's too much info for me to really go into it right now. We're being overflooded with info, which is unusual for a Sunday. That tells you what's going to go down on Monday. I think that will, yeah, we all want, yeah, we will have replicators, man. Right now, when I need something, I go on my computer and I say, I just got a new frying pan, which I'm going to take to the ocean and purify it, say a bracha, and dip the frying pan in the ocean. So I'll have a second frying pan in my house, which is unbelievable because I have this huge, gigantic one. I realized, what if I just want to fry a couple of eggs, man? I got to dirty up this whole huge frying pan that's like made for making like spaghetti sauce. So I got a little frying pan in the mail, and it was delivered on Shabbos. Watch the water. Yeah, it's all about love. All right. So anyway, so I'm surprised we didn't get more peeps, but Taxman taking a horse and cart. Gracias. Okay, so yeah, everybody be cool, man. Hydrogen power. I don't know. It's not. We're not talking about cold fusion. Or maybe it is. Maybe it is cold fusion. I'm not sure. I'm not sure how they do it, but apparently they have the technology. It's just a matter of bringing it up. The intel is just pouring out here, man. But Monday's going to be interesting. March may be named after the Roman god of war, but in reality, it's one of the happiest months on the calendar. Flowers are budding. Chocolate is on sale. It's a major holiday. All right, there's a lot coming out. I better quit while I'm ahead. Anyway, guys, we'll see you later today. I don't think I have any, as far as I know, no other broadcasts today. I'm going to use the time to do two things that I really like to do, which one is going to the supermarket and the other is to collect some sea glass. So I'll get a little sun, but enjoy your Sunday, and we will reconvene tonight at 7:45, and I'll try to process some of this intel. There's so much that it can't really be presented in the same fashion we used to present it. All right, guys, it's just pouring out. Look at this, unbelievable. I can't keep up with it. Elon. Okay, friends, FERENS, FRENS, friends. It's too much. All right, guys, we'll see you in a couple hours. God bless you. Let's see if I can figure out how to get out of here. Okay, I'll do this. Okay, see you guys at 7:45. God bless you all.